You know, the other day I was able to ride from my house in Northwest Brooklyn to the East Village in Manhattan, and the whole time I was on some designated bike route, and most of the time I was in Manhattan, I was on a protected bike route. And that makes all the difference in the world.
That people eat, you see that like this, they cross, they hit the mirror.
In 2007, the Department of Transportation announced a plan to accelerate the bike master plan. They added 200 miles of bike lanes between 2007 and 2009 as a way to really encourage New Yorkers to give bike riding a try for daily transportation.
They don't have lights. You will see it sometimes when the weather is very bad. They don't have lights. You can see.
And during that same period, there was a 45% increase in commuter cycling. You know, the if you build it, they will come hypothesis really proved to be true. There's also been, at the same time, a decrease in cyclist injuries and fatalities.
I think it's really easy to have a bike here. I've had a wonderful experience on riding my bike, commuting. You know, don't really have a whole lot of trouble. I haven't been in any accidents, knock on wood, so I think it's a fairly safe, cheap and efficient way to get around.
The bike map. The great thing is that the city's finding that where they implement protected bike lanes, there's an increase in cycling, a decrease in crashes for cyclists, and also a decrease in crashes and injuries for pedestrians.
Es muy bueno, muy correcto y se maneja más mejor, más tranquilo, más a gusto, más segura, exacto, más segura.
It's dangerous for the people, it's dangerous for, you know, we hit the people, it's dead. No, it's kind of trouble. We lost the job.
In the media, you don't often see portrayals of the new bike infrastructure from the perspective of someone who might want to use it. It's always from the perspective of cyclists are other. They're like these foreign beings. They're not people or New Yorkers, they're cyclists. And that leads to some pretty sensationalist and sometimes, you know, vicious coverage.
For a long time, New York City streets have kind of operated under a status quo, vehicle-first mentality. And in New York City, our streets and sidewalks are 80% of our public space. So in fact, while they're serving only drivers, they need to be serving more than that.
I come over the Manhattan Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge. Usually the Manhattan Bridge has less traffic. I ride my bike to errands and to work and the store and just anywhere that I can.
They kind of need to update the traffic laws if they want to include bicycles within, you know, a sort of reasonable code. I mean, right now you're trying to ask a bicycle to follow the laws of an automobile when they're two completely different things. You don't ask the same of a pedestrian to follow automobile rules, and it's, you know, it's kind of a different vehicle and a different tool, so it needs its own set of rules if they want to go that route of, you know, cracking down on bike violations like they've been trying to do over the past couple of months.
This is a walking city. You know, the Big Apple is a place when you think of the Big Apple, you think of walking. So I think some of the challenges are that change is hard, and that when a street changes, it does involve people having to change their routine, and that has brought along with it some opposition.
There's always a teething period at first where like a lot of people are just unfamiliar with this and aren't used to it, and you know, you have people on the sidewalk who are much closer to the bicycle traffic now, and it takes a while to get used to.
At first you might say, oh, I'm going to lose a parking spot, and then, you know, over time you realize that return you're getting is a safer street. It's a street that's more pleasant to walk on. You can still park your car if that's what you need to do. You can still do business if that's what you're doing. And I think it's a time of transition, and we've seen in cities the world over that this transition has huge returns to the public, and the adjustment period is one that a city grows out of.